Hello everyone, my name is Rin and welcome to another video log of my life on the Isekai realm. This is video log number 30 and this is a continuation of where we left off the last time with progress for days. And as you can see here, I actually made some upgrades to my shop to match up with the apothecary shop, and we have a third floor at the top as you can see here, this entire section. And I was experimenting around with some designs and that's the one that I decided to go for. But anyway, let's take a flight to see how much better it looks. It's not as tall as the apothecary as you can see, but it has one more floor at the top, and with these rockets I can actually fly in there because it's open at the top right there, and it's also well lit so that we don't have mobs spawning inside there. Anyway, since there's an expansion, why don't we go inside and let's start from the bottom here, because I did have to do some modifications to the bubble vator system here. But overall in this floor here, nothing much has changed except for probably this sign that specifically denotes what floor you are on and where it goes, right? So let's go up to the second floor from this bubble vator here. As usual, it brings you in this section here from the start, but we do have two more bubble vators here which will lead you to the top floor, which is the third floor that was the addition in the end, right? So we can go up to the third floor and we have this one that leads down to the first floor. It's a little bit confusing because it's a lot more bubble vators, but the signs are there to guide you. Anyway, this is the new addition to the bookstore, like I said, and we have some books to offer here. All the protections from protection, fire protection, projectile protection, and blast protection. So all the protection books are here, and we have books on sale which are 1 diamond per book in here. So it's for random books that I want to get rid of and I just want to put it on sale, right? Something that is non-specific. We have these sea lanterns in here which will be covered up eventually with carpet, and we have an enchantment room here which is free for use if anyone wants to come in here to enchant a book or whatnot. I might also sell regular books that have not been enchanted, so yeah, maybe people can buy those and then, you know, enchant their own books with their own experience and such. But anyway, we have this open space here which was made for us to fly out from easily and fly back in, but I'm pretty sucky at flying sometimes. Okay, I made it in and I went down the elevator. Anyway, yes, so that open space at the top is perfect for what just happened? Anyway, so now I'm quite satisfied with the way my bookstore turned out. It doesn't look so tiny beside the apothecary shop now. It looks really nice there. And there are other things that I actually worked on in the background, and that's in this direction here around the rocket and this side of the beach. I was testing out some different methods of terraforming, and I added a little bit more detail using some smooth sandstone slabs like these right here in order to make it easier to walk up and down these like this, so we don't have to be jumping over to get to the next sand block over, etc. Jumping isn't really good that much because it brings down your hunger, right? So as you can see here, all inside of the water, it looks much more detailed. I added in some seagrass as well to make it much more interesting looking. The more detail it has, I found that it looks really nice and more realistic. So I'm going to put down some of these kelp plants here, and they will grow up to the top of the water. So I'll mix them in with some more seagrass on the edges, and as soon as I get more of these, I will be placing down a little bit more so that it looks really nice and detailed. I think this looks really nice. This was a great idea for me to work on. I think I'll probably do that for the rest of the beach as well at some point, once I gather enough resources and materials that I would use for that to look really nice. But see, from above it doesn't look too bad either. Let me just land here and look down. That extra detail does add a lot to this actually. I really think that Spawn Island can look much better if I do it for the all around the island, all the way around. But that will certainly be something that I'll be working on in the background, and eventually when I'm finished with it, I'll definitely show you guys in a short little showcase that I do for like probably another future video log, right? But moving on to this area here, we can finally move on to removing this Pac-Man shop here that isn't really used anymore. And like I said, I did get reluctant permission to remove it from there, but it's not used anymore, and we will be using that space in order to make something else, right? But I do want to, like I said before, build a little bridge right here across this water to get to the other side. This one uses the same new terraforming style that I decided to do, and I want to have a bridge extending over the water here. But before we do any of that, we have to get rid of this build here so that we can make room for whatever else I have planned to put in its location, right? I won't tell you exactly what it is yet, but I will build it in the background and then I'll show you guys afterward, right? So let's go ahead and carefully remove this building from here. It's a rather large one, and something I need to keep in mind is that we need to give all these resources back to the owner. Alright, so I went ahead and put all of the materials from the build inside of this double chest here. We have all the concrete and everything that was used for it. For this build that belonged to Loki Buns, where he used to sell cobblestone and mossy cobblestone. The shop was called Gobble My Cobble. He's very punny like that. I haven't seen him around in a long time, but I will leave all the materials in his PO box just in case he comes back around here. Alright, so the building has been successfully removed and I can use this space to make something important here on Spawn Island. But before all that, I actually came up with a little idea of what I can add to my bookstore to make it look a little bit better than it does now. And that idea involves this light gray concrete right here. You know, anytime I come up with ideas to improve my builds, I definitely go for it. There's no reason not to want to improve my builds. So the idea is to add a little more detail to my build because it's very stone bricky like, and look at that over there. Oh, so much detail. So I want to add a little more detail to this build using this light gray concrete, and since we already have a darker border around it, maybe above it we can have a lighter one using lighter concrete. That's the idea I have. Any small amount of detail that goes well with the build will definitely make a difference, and that's the reason I decided I would do this and test it out. I can't tell you how many times I added extra detail to my bookstore and actually expanded upon it, but yes, this addition does look really nice, and definitely I have to wrap this all around the build, so I'll be removing these bricks from here and then replacing them, and then I'll get back to you when I'm done with that. Oh yeah, I really like how this look really good. I really like how it came together. I just had an idea in my mind and I said, look, I would put this here, and it definitely worked. It's a good idea. Oh, it looks much better. It's just a small little addition to it, but it makes such a big difference in my opinion. I like it so much. Alright, and now I feel much better about my bookstore. It doesn't look so plain compared to all the other builds that are coming in. In fact, the other build that I'll build over there where the Pac-Man was, that too will have a lot of detail in it. Let's work on that. Well, my friends, progress for days continues as we have more progress achieved throughout this video log here. And as you can see, we start here with this bridge that I said I wanted to build. The idea behind this one is that I wanted a rickety old looking bridge that looks very hastily put together, or using materials, recycled materials. As you can see, we even used a barrel here, some trap doors, and two types of slabs here. We have fences with parts of the fence railing thing missing for it to look old and dilapidated and very rickety, and I do like how it definitely does look that way. And if we turn slowly here, we see that we have a new build here with a lot of detail. And keeping with that same theme with the bridge, this build is a guild hall. And it does look a little... Let me just hurry sleep because it's nighttime and I really want you guys to see properly during the daytime what this build actually looks like. And I will be explaining to you guys the purpose of this build. It will be for everyone on this realm. As you can see, we have a guild sign right there because this build is very important to bring everyone together. Let's go cross this rickety old bridge here. And as you can see, even the build here, this guild hall, looks very rickety looking. Like we have a combination of different parts of many things going on here. For it to look like a build that is put together with leftover materials, you know, recycled stuff. Very much in the theme of like the Monster Hunter games when they have a guild hall or a guild hub or something like that. Anyway, we have just like that a board here with all types of missions that are readily available for one person or many people on the realm to get together. So we have the different colors of signs here, and as we go further out, it's a higher difficulty level, just like this one. Turn in 8 diamond ores, and that's just 8 guild points. Yes, we'll be using something called guild points. I have to actually plan it out a little bit more and see what the prizes are going to be for that. We have a level 2 mission here, mine 64 nether quartz ore without armor. That's 16 guild points. We have 3 raids completed up the raid then that I mentioned in the last video log. Resurrect and slay the ender dragon and summon a wither boss and slay it, and that's 128 guild points. Remember, if you do that mission with other people, you split those guild points between all the people involved. Right here we have some decorations using some armor stands here for it to look really nice. We also have a back exit here. Here I want to do a mini port, something like that here. Eventually I'll work on that. That's a lot of work for me to do. So I have no idea what I really want to do here for now. So that's why I haven't done anything there yet. But eventually I'll get to that, right? Also we have another level at the top. I'm not sure what I want to put up here, but we do have the space for it, as you can see here. And probably it's for like the history of the guild kind of stuff, and maybe even beds and dining, and also probably the prizes that you can win with all the guild points, that you can trade in your guild points for stuff. It's like a sort of currency as well. Also because this guild will be used to bring people together, people on the realm, right? Because many of us are a little bit hermit-like and we don't get to see each other very often. So that building, and that's the reason why I said the guild was important, is because it's going to be a project. It's going to be something that unites all of us together to share a mutual goal, right? Especially when doing certain missions together. So we want to work on different missions with little handicaps, like for example summoning certain bosses or doing certain missions without armor and stuff like that, and we offer points for that, right? So this guild hall and bridge that goes so well together. I really like the work that I put into this. I actually really went ahead and put all the time into actually design the entire thing myself. It took a lot of time. And over this side, as you can see, we have a horse. Maybe I might do some stables here for horses that can be rented to be used for the missions and whatnot, right? So yeah, oh, that was a lot of talking just now. But I really like how all the builds are coming together. Look, all of them are looking really nice here. Spawn Island is going to be something very important for all of us to use, right? Anyway, yeah, I already went ahead and filled in all of these chests here. They were empty at first. So they have all the protection books that I want to sell. And oh, yeah, I have to actually go ahead and cover this entire place with some red carpet. But I'll do that in the background. I won't come back to show you guys because that's not very interesting to show. Progress for days continues, my friends, because I just came up with a very interesting idea, and I'm going to work on that because for some reason ideas are just coming to me, and that's to build something along the walls of the moat. It's very plain right now, as you can see, with all of that stone. It's just so simple and gray and bland looking. I'm going to add some different tones of gray, so it will still be gray, but it will be some little details right there alongside the wall. So I want to basically showcase where the water from the moat is coming from. So I'm going to gather some materials and then work on that right now. My friends, I worked through the entire night in this world, and before day comes, I want to show you guys what I have already done, because it does have some light sources in it and it won't show once the sun is up and the entire place is bright. This is what I came up with. We have some faces along the walls using stone and gray concrete, etc. And we have, like, in that face we do have like the mouths are open, and out of some of them we have the water that's actually pouring out and going into the moat. And using the light sources we can actually see it a little bit better. That's the reason I decided to put it in, and I think it turned out quite well. I'm not sure if that's something that I want to continue putting around the rest of the walls on this moat, because it might be a little bit too much detail, but I like it how it looks. So eventually I'll test it out on the other walls, and if it does not work well, I can just remove it from there. But I like how this looks here so far. It's very pleasant, and we do have a reason why we have water in there, even though the bottom is actually made out of stone as well. Okay, let's... I wish I could actually fly out of this water. Like, seriously, why can't we fly out of the water? It's not fair. I probably have to, like, do a little platform here to jump off from. Let me just do that quickly. This wastes a lot of time here, and I'm wasting my time explaining this to you. Why am I doing that? Let's move on to the other thing, because we have much more progress to accomplish in this particular video log. And our next location is here in this taiga village that I woke up in. when I found out I was trapped in this world. The purpose of my visit here is to look for a villager who is willing to be a fisherman. And I want to open another shop. I want to do another shop on Spawn Island to sell sea wares, like for example prismarine, sea lanterns, and stuff like that that come out of my those stuff that come out of my my farm, my garden farm. Hey guy, are you interested in becoming a fisherman and helping me open a ship like shop and think? What? He's showing me his plants. Oh, you have farming too? Okay, you don't have time for me? You don't care about me? Fine then. Shucks. Alright, maybe this kid wants to, because hey kid, yo, do you want, are you interested? Hello? This, oh my goodness, kids, I swear. They don't completely ignore me. Okay. At least the first guy was kind enough to tell me that he wants to deal with his crops or whatever. And how about this guy? Hey, you, hey guy, hi, hello, I'm Rain. Are you interested in helping me open a shop? He's a shepherd. You've been here like forever, and you don't have any sheep and stuff. I can clearly see he's not interested. He's like losing. This, you see that right there? I'm going to do that to you if you don't do what I want. Yo, I have to threaten this guy. You will do this for me. You hear me? Do you hear me? Oh my goodness, obviously. I'm not going to kill you, guy. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No one wants to do this for me. Oh my goodness. This is a bit frustrating because I can't do this completely on my own. I do need the help of a fisherman. So let me just to refresh your memory. Not far from this village, I do have a garden farm that I created. It's a garden and XP farm that I created earlier in my video logs. Here it is. It's right here. It's not very far. That's the reason why I need the help of a villager from that particular village, because it's very close. And I'm sure one of them, once they switch professions from what they are to like a fisherman, I'm sure they would be able to build a boat and bring it out here and take all the wares to Spawn Island for me, because I really want a shop to do that, and I have other things that I want to work on. So I really need the help from one of those villagers. Maybe if I give him his workstation, he'll actually become a fisherman and do that for me. Well, it's worth a try. So I talked to him a bit more, and he decided that yes, he wants to help me out, which is really awesome. I just have to make sure I get the appropriate workstation for him, which is a barrel. And I noticed that we have a freaking village idiot in here. How do you call them? They're useless. You need to get yourself a job. You hear me? Get yourself become useful to society. You useless thing. Ugh. I'm so riled up right now because it's frustrating when you have so much work to be. What? Okay, where did that come from? So these magma cubes are just randomly popping out of the nether portals now. You know what? I don't want to kill him because he'll split into a lot of pieces and then all of them will attack me. Is the water going to kill him? It doesn't really look that way, but it seems like he can't really jump properly in the water. He's not jumping as high. You know what? I'm going to leave him alone. I won't even bother with that right now because I'll come back later to get rid of it. But let's move on to the next thing. Let's go ahead and move on to the next thing. Oh, by the way, I completely closed this entire place off because just in case I don't want pigmen or... Actually, I don't want mobs from the outside go into that portal and enter the nether, right? So that's why I have to do it. In fact, I probably have to do that to all the portals that I don't use anymore, because I mean we'll have other situations like the same one where the magma cube actually came over, right? This is the one that I actually closed off in here, this particular portal here, and I'm noticing that this is the same portal the giant magma cube came from, and we do have a small one here. So yeah, when I'm around the area, they probably spawn and then they jump in. We're back here on Spawn Island for the specific purpose of dealing with that lighthouse over there, which is sort of broken and not working properly. So what I want to do is go inside of it and fix up the redstone. And the reason why I want to do this at the top there is because, well, the last time we had the lighthouse up and running, a merchant airship actually arrived. Let me get rid of this redstone here. And I'll try to reset it. Like, grab this here. Like I said, a merchant airship arrived, and since we asked a villager in the Taiga village to build a ship and bring the wares over here, we need to signal that ship. Is this working properly? Do I try again? Faster like that. do we have a decent pulse here? Something is a bit off. Let me go down and look at it from outside and see if I actually did it properly. Well, I didn't do it right the first time, but after messing around with it a bit more, this is the outcome. And yes, some of the repeaters actually needed to be at 4 ticks. So yeah, that's what I needed to do to fix this problem here. I don't know who messed with it in the first place. Anyway, so what I can do now is actually inform the villager that the lighthouse is up and running, and he can use that as a beacon in order to bring the ship over in this direction here. Hello. I've come to tell you that actually have the lighthouse up and running. You're still here. It's nighttime, and the chicken is still there. The chicken is still there. Oh, it's already nighttime. I have to move from here because if not, zombies will spawn, and I don't need the one person who agreed to help me out to to just die. That would be terrible. It would also be a huge pain in the butt because, well, chances are if a zombie attacked that villager, it would turn into a zombie immediately, and then I'd have to try my very best to turn him back into like a villager, cure him, oh, and all of that, you know. I don't even want to think about the amount of stress I go through on a daily basis trying to get so much progress. And what's? Oh my goodness! That's the guy. That's the guy that I saved. He died. Oh my goodness! This is the same. Is this the same magma cube that I saw earlier? It looked like he was fighting the magma cube just now and he died. That's the same guy that was in one of LPT5's holding cells, along with Black Slate, and I saved both of them. But I've seen Black Slate around, but I haven't seen that other guy that we don't even know his name. Oh, but he died. Is that his? Oh my goodness, I did not expect any of this to happen. His respawn point could be anywhere around here or anywhere in this world at all. So there's a chance that we will never see him again after this, because we could have seen him a very long time ago, but it seems like he was avoiding us all this time. What's this book that he dropped? World Law Changed by LPT5. That's one of the books that I had stored in this place. Why would he take that from me? World Law Changed by LPT5. Is there a reason in particular that he wanted to take this book with him? This is mine. Yes, it is missing from in here. We have volume 1. We have all these books that we got from LPT5's base. He came here for this particular book. Why? What does it say? I didn't read everyone, but this one is talking about Zombie Steve. Codename R. Steve, Resurrected Steve, right? I did read some of it. I didn't read the entire thing, but this particular book is basically an account of how the experiment of bringing Zombie Steve back to life worked for LPT5. And as we know, my personal experience with the experiment actually failed completely because the trident was taken away from me by some pillagers, and the whole thing went to nothingness. So I'm really not sure why he wanted it. These aren't even the instructions. This is just like a log of what actually happened to LPT5 when he did it. So why would this person actually want the log? That's a little too strange for me. Something is not adding up here, and I don't know why he has been hiding for this entire time. In fact, he probably hasn't been hiding. He's probably been around here for quite some time, lurking around and ensuring that we don't see him at all. Maybe he's traveled through he's traveling through the nether. This spider needs to leave me alone. Oh, it went inside of the nether. Maybe he's been traveling through the nether and avoiding us that way. Maybe he's been in the nether this entire time for all we know. I don't know what to think. I really don't know what to think at this point. There's not enough information for me to even say anything at all. Remember this platform here? When I was doing the Zombie Steve experiment to bring a zombie back to life, because that's what all of these blue-shirted zombies are based on. A person called Steve. You know what? I'm done talking. I'm a bit confused right now. I need some time to think things over. So I need a short break. Like seriously, I do need a short break. So we will continue with progress for days, but it seems we're going to have a part 3 for that. Definitely, because this is a little too overwhelming for me at this point, and I need a break. I'll get back to you guys when I get some proper rest after all of this right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, please leave a thumbs up. If you enjoyed it, leave a comment below. I always answer all of my comments. And also, if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing. Okay, that was difficult to come out. Anyways, because it helps the channel out a lot, please consider subscribing. I'll see you guys in part 3 of Progress Videos. You know, I almost forgot that I said I would bring this guy's workstation here for him. You need a barrel in order to become a fisherman. That way you stop being what was him again? Let's see. A shepherd. Yes, that's what you are. You won't be a shepherd anymore. What's in here? I'm looking for his workstation. For a shepherd, the workstation for a shepherd is what? I just need to find it and break it so that he can actually shift over to the barrel when I place it down for him, but I don't know where that is. Well, hello there. Do you guys remember this place? This is actually the place where I woke up in and did my first ever video log. This is the place that I woke. This is the exact bed that I woke up in. I remember clearly. It's been it's almost a year since then, to be honest. Wow, time sure does fly. So I went ahead and broke that loom there because that's like the only loom that exists in this entire village, and so I am assuming that's the one that he's connected to. But it seems like he's still employed as a shepherd. I see. He should be unemployed at this point because I destroyed his workstation. Maybe I'll just keep this barrel down here, and you know, he already agreed that he would be the one to captain the ship for me. I do have a name for him here. I'll call him Captain Crunch because he will be a captain of his own ship, which he will send over to Spawn Island for me, which is awesome. And yeah,